Karri, a watercolor enthusiast, um, expressing harmony that I see through watercolors. I've pursued architecture and furniture design, now totally immersed into the magical world of watercolors. As a child, everything around astonished me. Every little detail would put me into wonder. My heart would get tickled at the sight of passing cloud, textures on the walls, and songs of sparrows, fights of the squirrels, and light and shadow play on the wrinkles of my mother's sari. I remember sitting and staring at the mountains hours together, watching each speck. There's so much life in it, and watching life scintillate around like that gave me immense joy. Eventually, watching kind of became a very subconscious habit that I could not resist, and no other game or act or um, material gave me that joy. Once during a mathematics class, I was sitting by the window and I was called by a squirrel. I followed the sight of the squirrel jumping around and, playing hide and seek. Suddenly, I missed the sight of the squirrel, and it took time for me to realize that my teacher had shut the window. But the teacher could not stop me from my imaginary world. I continued playing the hide and seek in my own head. My mind would take joy in daydreaming and playing with all the images in my head. I would imagine myself becoming a giant and sliding through the contours of the mountains, and I would imagine myself becoming a tiny bee crawling over a beautiful flower, exploring the texture and delicacy of the flower. Watching engrossed me while dreaming pulled me into a playful world. Gradually, a lot more of this schooling shut my windows into imaginary world. I found myself succumb to the ideas of the society that are wanting me to become something and prove myself as someone. This totally disconnected the child within me. Food, cinemas, friends, nothing gave me that joy I had as a child. That's exactly when my questioning began on fundamentals of life that I took for granted. I tried to understand where true joy and sorrow springs from. Parallelly, I was trying my hands at different mediums to express the emotions I was going through, like poetry, sketching, sculpture, and architecture, until I came across watercolor. I was overwhelmed to realize the potential watercolor holds. It was an instant connect, plunged into the world of watercolors, and I decided to go with my heart and give all the time that I have I locked myself in the house for over a month and kept on painting whatever came to my head. And that's when I found my freedom back. And this leap of faith opened a very large spectrum. I was able to connect my learnings from architecture, music, poetry, and Zen philosophy. With every new work, the medium kept pushing me, throwing surprises at every juncture, and tickled the playful child within me. With each stroke, I would get to watch my state of mind and hence be able to capture it and dive into my heart. Watercolor kind of puts me on toes. It demands absolute attention. At any given moment, one is found walking on a thin line like an acrobat. You have no choice but to become extremely attentive. The medium taught me to accept accidents and work with them. It lets me dabble between mind and heart, rational and intuition, control and no control. I've learned that effort is the mind's way and effortlessness is of the heart.